You are now listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. This is Let's Talk. I don't count likes, calories, or blessings. I don't dine with snakes or bite my tongue. It is what it is. I am what I am. I am your host, Tony Williams. Shout out to my new listeners and my On Ones Day Ones. All information and resources are based on the opinions of the host unless otherwise noted. All information is intended to motivate, encourage, and inspire positive change and a healthier lifestyle. Now, this podcast contains some quotations, images, or excerpts from copyrighted material. These uses fall well within copyright doctrine of fair use. Fair use refers to the right to reproduce, use, and share. Now, this is a live broadcast. We are on the air. If you would like to call in, On One Radio's call-in number is 318-315-3971. Again, 318-315-3971. Now, this call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance and security purposes. Your continued participation in this telephone call serves as express consent to be monitored and or recorded. All right, so tonight's topic it's a goodie. It's some news for you. This has been this ongoing battle with Comcast versus Byron Allen. Now, a lot has been said about it, and I've been just kind of laying back low a little bit, just kind of watching how things develop. And, well, if you're not aware who Byron Allen is, Byron Allen is an American businessman, former comedian, television producer, philanthropist, and the founder, owner, chairman, and chief executive officer of the U.S. television production company Entertainment Studio. Now, Allen, the head of Entertainment Studio Network, filed a $20 billion lawsuit against Comcast in February of 2015, alleging that the telecom giant refused to carry his cable channels, in part because they're black-owned. Now, Allen, in his original complaint, alleged Comcast executives just him and made racist statements during their negotiations. Now, Comcast rebuffed Allen's claims, of course, saying their decision to not run his 7 lifestyle cable channels was strictly business-based. There was simply not enough audience demand for the channels. Further, Comcast countered that Allen is an opportunist, suing major corporations like itself in order to win fees. I mean, that sounds like something standard, rebuttal that will be given. Now, Byron Allen's racial discrimination lawsuit against the Comcast Corporation. Now, it's the world's second largest telecommunications conglomerate. Now, this lands in front of the Supreme Court that Wednesday in a case that could greatly impact how future discrimination suits are brought forward. Now, Allen's allegations extended outside of Comcast, which, hey, it might. Now, the lawsuit further accuses the NAACP and Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network and other civil rights figures of conspiring with Comcast to whitewash Comcast's discriminatory business practices by supporting the company's 2011 acquisition of NBC Universal, among other allegations. So this has gotten really messy, but the matter has evolved into something much larger than why Comcast made the decision to decline Allen's channels. At the heart of his case, in a Reconstruction-era statute barring discrimination on the basis of race, color, and and ethnicity when making and enforcing contracts. Now that's got to be a big deal because there's a lot of actors and entertainers just in general that that are black, and that's something that they're gonna have to be fighting against something that's not right. Now, Allen is arguing that Comcast violated the law in considering race at all, even if there were other factors involved in the decision. Now, Comcast countered that the law applies to decisions in which race was the sole factor. So, like I say, it's getting messy. It's the battle is cranking up. Now, the case comes before the Supreme Court because the complaint was initially dismissed. That decision was then overturned by California's Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Plaintiffs needed only to plausibly allege that discriminatory intent was a factor in Comcast's refusal to contract. The three-judge panel ruled. Now, the decision before the Supreme Court isn't to determine whether Comcast acted in racially discriminatory way, but whether Allen's case can even go to trial. This, like I say, it's getting messy. The question here, it seems then, is how much discrimination is enough to give someone their day in court, which makes a lot of sense. Now, Comcast argues that the plaintiff should have to show that race was the only motivating factor in its decision in order to go on with their case, and that they can't. The plaintiffs say they should only have to show that race was at least part of the motivating factor in refusing to carry the channels, and they can. So, in practical terms, then, Comcast is fighting to deny the National Association of African American owned media the opportunity to question witnesses and get documents that will give the court enough evidence to decide if plaintiffs can go to trial. So this is just really this is turning into a shit show. Let's just say that. It really is. Now, Allen recently got some high-profile support from people like Illinois Representative Bobby Rush, who wrote a letter to Comcast CEO Brian Roberts saying, simply put, it is my belief that the Comcast Corporation needs to be broken up. Ouch. Yeah, that's really direct. It was simply put, though, but it was very damn direct. And, hell, who's to say he's wrong? Because it just looks messy. Like, why would you even go through that? Why would you even do that to this guy? Like, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Now, Comcast's decision to ignore the memoranda illustrates a careless disregard of minority communities and their interests, Rush wrote. Now, see, a lot has happened with this. Now, and it's been going on a long time. But one of the interesting things that did happen along the way was in August of 2019, Trump and Comcast dismantled civil rights. Now, this is all over the $20 billion entertainment studios lawsuit. I guess it's just the way it is, right? If we look at it, everything now can be bought. It seems that way to me. If you want bigger ass, you can buy that. The presidency, well, Trump proved that. Bigger tits, new face. Even a bigger penis. Hell, murder charges. If you need an arm or a heart or a liver, body parts, you can buy women and men. Hell, it's people buying children. But of course, we know that's not the whole list. But now we're adding laws. So you can put a price tag on civil rights and economic inclusion. For Comcast, along with the Trump administration, that amounts to about $20 billion. So apparently a price tag can be put on it. Now the U.S. Department of Justice once wanted the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to rethink its understanding of the Reconstruction era civil rights law. Now, Allen's lawyers could be required to prove that race was absolutely the only reason Comcast didn't place the company's channels on its distribution platforms. A lot is at stake at that point. The interpretation of the statute could affect the intention of it to protect African American civil rights. Now, Comcast has gathered government support for its cause from, NBC, Universal, because they teamed up with Donald Trump's Department of Justice. I mean, Donald Trump got his hands in some of every damn thing, but can't keep his shit straight to save his damn soul. But like I said before, it was messy, and it had been messy. Now, in a statement to the Griot, they wrote, "Our caucus is committed to continuing aggressive oversight of the administration to mitigate the impacts of these dangerous and out-of-touch policies, which include opening the door to discrimination in contracts." Now, keep in mind, the issue here is racial discrimination among contracts. And there are millions of people impacted. There are so many in the business as well as aspiring to get there also. So, what once was legal yet unconstitutional, like this for instance, discrimination in contracts, seems to be attempting a return. I mean, what do y'all think about this? Y'all let me know. Now, coming forward, now December 5th, Byron Allen issues a statement on departure of Comcast senior executive David Cohen. So maybe that memoranda that was sent to them, maybe that had some merit. Maybe that's why they ignored it, because they really just didn't. They knew it was true, but they didn't want somebody telling them that that's what that was. But obviously, with this sort of situation coming up, they're going to fire somebody's ass. Somebody's going to have to get fired and take the blame for it. I don't care if you call it retirement, early retirement, if you call it quitting. I don't care. It's somebody is taking the file for this if we got to chunk out that much damn money. But he issued a statement. Now, it was announced that David L. Cohen, Comcast Corporation's senior executive and vice president, will be stepping down from his daily duties at the end of the year. Now, word of Cohen's departure came after Comcast CEO Brian Roberts sent an email out to employees. Now, the news came after years of contention and legal battles between Comcast and Byron Allen, founder, chairman, CEO of Entertainment Studios, Inc., who publicly called out Comcast for discriminatory practices in business and issued a lawsuit against the cable giant. And the case has gone all the way to the Supreme Court. Now, Allen used the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which was created to protect African American, businesses. So, I mean, it's getting messier. Let's say messier. But it's getting way, way messy. Because now you're dismantling laws. You're dismantling laws to try to save money. I mean, if they can't, it seems like if you can't be got as an African American person in general, you're going to go through hell. We know this. It seems to come with the territory of being our shade of skin. But a lot of shit is going too damn far. It shouldn't even be at that point anyway. But it is. So now, I mean, human rights, civil rights. What else? It's almost how do you like your racism type of situation. So in order to sway the judgment, Trump and his minions and Comcast and NBC Universal, basically, because that's pretty much who it's for, because his intention was not to touch this before the lawsuit. He wasn't thinking about dismantling it before the lawsuit. So obviously it is because of the lawsuit. So you're basically going to make it legal for African Americans to be legally discriminated against in contracts. Now that's the way it was way back in the day. And those were verbal contracts back then. But it was there. So you're bringing it back. So you really got to watch what you support. You really have to be vigilant in knowing what's going on, because, like I say, everything seems to be up for sale, and civil rights and laws are being thrown under the bus. Because this whole thing, it's really going to come down to being based on interpretation of the statute that Byron Allen is using as his basis of the lawsuit. Because then it would force him to have to prove that it was completely about race. So either way it goes, you're going to be fought and battled against. Whether they got to change a law to fit them for that moment, or if they find something to put on you to ruin your life, you have to be vigilant. And Byron Allen, damn it, you better fight this shit tooth and nail to the end. Because right is right. And I don't think that he's out here just suing people just to get paid. Because that's pretty much what they've alleged at the beginning. This man does not have to do all that like that. He doesn't. This man's net worth as of 2018 was $400 million US dollars. $400 million. So someone with $400 million is not just running around suing people for nothing. Just because. No. This man has shit to do. But what it is Byron Allen is not having it. That's what it is. He is standing up for himself and others. Because this really could change the way discrimination lawsuits go after this. But this man has an entertainment studio to run. So he doesn't have time to be going on a just maybe. It's like playing double dutch. I got $400 million, but do I want to risk having to pay court costs if I lose? Hell no. The fuck? It's almost like, how could you even? That is intentionally insulting the man's intelligence. It is. That's pretty much what it is. Because he worked for him, 18 years? Something like that? He knew the business. He knew it. So, okay, Cohen has worked in several pivotal roles at Comcast for the past 18 years. Okay, not Byron. Including communications, corporate administration, and diversity, and yet the company has come under several allegations for wrongdoings when it comes to working with people of color. Now, even this decision to step down, Cohen will not be completely removed from Comcast. There's always a catch. There's always a loophole. They always try to find a way to get over. And when I say they, I mean the people who are doing foul shit. It doesn't matter necessarily what color they are. It really doesn't matter. You doing foul shit, you just doing fucking foul shit. That's just what the fuck that is. Now, as of 2020, he will become the new senior advisor to the CEO, continuing to provide advice and support. You quitting, because that's what stepping down is. You're quitting, Cohen. You're quitting. But you are, as of 2020, you gonna be giving advice? Who the fuck? What the fuck? Are you serious? What kind of fuckery is this? Oh, right, the fuckery I've been talking about the whole time. That's right. Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, there's, like I said, there's loopholes in everything. In business as a whole, no matter what color you are, no matter what race you are, no matter what religion you are, there is going to be stumbling blocks put there. But it's worse when others put stumbling blocks there to force you to trip up and fall. And that's not cool. That's not cool. That's not a way to live. You're going to have fucked up karma. Karma, that bitch is going to come back and she is going to destroy your life just one day out of the blue. Everything is going to be lovely. And then that bitch karma appears. I kid you not. Because that's what they're doing. It's almost as if you fucked either way. Whether you try to do things legitly, someone is going to try to find a way to pretty much destroy you. Try to destroy you anyway. Even if you're not rich, the same thing is happening. Every day, Mo and Joe and Betty and Jane and Cookie and Candy and them and Ray and them, it's always somebody trying to throw stumbling blocks. But when you're going about your business the right way and you are African American, yes, it's going to be double hard for you. Because there are always going to be those who do not want to see you succeed. No matter why, no matter what they feel, it doesn't matter. They just do not want to see you succeed. So yeah, Byron Allen has to fight. Now, I really wish him the best, and I hope, everything works out. And when there's new information on this, I am going to definitely bring you guys back to update you on, what was decided. Because this is a tough one. With them changing the civil rights law that was put into place to protect this whole Comcast versus Byron Allen, which is National Association of African American Owned Media. NAAOM, National Association of African American Owned Media. And it is truly based on one of the country's oldest civil rights laws, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, and its ban on racial discrimination in contracts. So I will definitely get back with you guys and let you know when something else comes up. But this started, this started some years ago. So it's not over yet. It is not over yet. You have been listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. The show, Let's Talk. And I have been your host, Thank you for taking the time to listen to my talk show podcast. I wish you the best, and don't allow anyone to fuck up your vibes. I am your host, Tony Williams. If you are not following me on YouTube, go on over to YouTube. The name over there is Tony on One. Like, share, follow, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And while you're surfing the net, go over to Facebook. Check out the On One Radio Facebook page. Like, follow. You'll find some shows there, some pictures and whatnot. And if you would like to join our group, the name is On One's Day Ones. It's also on Facebook. And this podcast can be found on most podcast apps and sites. You know an artistic mind who deserves a little bit of podcast love and talent recognition? Email oneradiotalk@gmail.com to the attention of artist highlights. Or if you've got some BS for BS of the day, email oneradiotalk@gmail.com to the attention of BS of the day.